Get up, little dear. Katya's soulful brown eyes darted toward their slumbering father. It's all right, Hannah whispered, hoping the child wasn't coming down with a fever. She'd once found her little sister curled up in the grass outside after one of father's drunken rages, like a fawn in a meadow. With her mother dead and her father useless, Hannah found herself solely responsible for keeping her siblings clothed and fed. A portion of her wages from the tailor shop went to their elderly neighbor, Frau Kruger, who watched Katya and Hans during the day. The widow fed them brown bread and eggs. Thank God, for they often had nothing more than scraps. Father spent every penny at the saloons. He beat Hannah when he thought she was withholding her coins from him. And she had been. She'd managed to stash away nearly $8 in a jar, which she kept hidden. Soon it would be enough money to escape. Hannah closed her eyes and drew in a deep breath. Mountain air, wildflowers. In her memories she could see the green fields surrounding her cottage in Mittenwald, and Mother's wise hands rolling dough for Schnecken. But when Hannah opened them, Mother was gone. An icy wind seeped through the cracks of the ramshackle house, and Hannah shivered. While the children were eating, she pried the board in the bedroom floor loose and added more coins to her savings jar. Next to it stood the delicate plate Mother had painted. Hannah wished to live in that idyllic scene amongst the weeping willows. Trailing her finger along Mother's brushstrokes, she imagined Mother watching over her from heaven. Hannah sniffled, pulling her shawl more tightly around her shoulders. The damp air penetrated the threadbare fabric. Setting the wooden plank back into place, she ignored her rumbling belly and hoped the children had eaten their fill. Father groaned in his sleep, causing her to flinch. Mother had been foolish to fall in love. Such vulnerability was a sign of weakness, and Hannah could not be weak if she wanted to stay alive. Father's greed had been the reason their family had left Bavaria and come to this vile and sinful place. No man would decide her fate. Not father, not a husband, no one. From the doorway to their kitchen, Hannah looked at Martin, his face partially illuminated by the glow of their kerosene lamp. Her brother's lip quivered. "Martin?" she asked. "What are you feeling?" When he turned to her, his eyes shone with tears. Hannah didn't need him to explain further. Their mother's absence ached like an open wound.
"Do you remember the ship?" Martin asked. "And the train from Hamburg? How we were loaded in like pigs?"
He shook his head.
"Mother was sick with pneumonia, and yet Father insisted we travel to America. We never should have come here."
Martin had been only a boy of 7 when they had traveled in the belly of the steamer. It stank of feces and rot. Hannah hadn't expected him to remember Mother's rattling cough or her ragged breaths, but perhaps it was the painful things in life that people remembered most. "I know," Hannah said, her shoulders slumping. "Yet there is nothing we can do. San Francisco is our home now. Take the children. It is time for bed." Father let out a grunt, and Hannah clenched her fists. She could purchase a packet of poison at one of the low groceries and slip it in his drink. But she wasn't capable of murder. Or perhaps Father could be drugged and clubbed over the head, put aboard a merchant ship to set sail for foreign lands. No one would miss him.
"Hannah, I'm still hungry,"
Hans said, tugging the hem of her dirndl. His blue eyes pleaded with hers. She knelt on the dirt floor and hugged him tight. Katya cowered behind Hannah's skirt, watching Father twitch in his sleep.
"Anna, I'm scared."
"Don't be frightened," Hannah said. "I will sing you a lullaby." The little ones nodded. Leading Hans and Katya by the hand, Hannah entered the small room they shared and tucked them into bed. Martin stood in the kitchen, staring out the window into the darkness. What dreams did he have, kept in those stars? Hannah wouldn't relinquish hers either. Father couldn't control her forever. "Martin," Hannah whispered, "you come to bed now?"
"In a moment,"
he said.
"Good night."